Hello. Mm. Hey, Sean. We
Hi,
will.
how are you?
Good, thanks. We'll get started in just a moment. My notebook is waking back up.
All right, sounds good. I'm trying to switch from a work relevant background, video background to a Wakefield background. So there we go. Now I can be back in Wakefield.
Oh, I need to get myself a Wakefield background. I like it very much.
That was my commute today, was the switch of background.
That's pretty good. All right. Well, I guess I will call the meeting to order at 7:33. I will share our agenda very briefly, which is right up here. So we'll have call to order, public participation, we'll approve the minutes, or vote on the minutes. We can talk about our social engagement, email list and webpage, the various communication things that we're looking to do. Pick a date for the next meeting. And then I have one matter not anticipated, which is a note we got about doing some education for the Boys and Girls Club. So we can talk about that in the final section. But first, since we've called to order, we can do public participation. Paul, I see that you've joined us. Would you like to public participate?
Yeah, good evening. My name is Paul Rubicki. I'm from 152 Packer Road. I just dropped in to see what you guys were all about. I checked you guys out on Facebook. My primary interest is continuing to spread the word about the complete disaster over at the vocational school where they're going to devastate the 13.8 acres of forest to put the new Voc up on the hill, contrary to common sense and in the environment.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think that is definitely concerning. I don't know, actually, Sean, do you have any intel from the land use subcommittee? Sean chairs the land use subcommittee.
Yeah, no, we haven't talked about the Voc much specifically there because we're focused on other things. And so other than what I've been tracking through the media, I think in terms of our remit here, you know, and thinking of conversations we've had, right? Like, you know, so as a town committee, we can't go and advocate for something, a particular stance on something that's up for a vote. But I think we certainly could be using our platform to be promoting the events, the hearings, the other things, and saying this has implications for the use of the land. If you are interested, please, you know, and that I think stays within what we're allowed to do. And given that, and as Paul alluded to in his comments, that it's not, perhaps it's not being talked about enough, I think that would be very appropriate. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I don't have a lot more detail. I know that others on the ESC are much more engaged with that.
I think it's right down the alley though for the land use committee to be kind of involved and within their purview to be looking at, you know, a lot of undeveloped land that's going to be permanently altered forever.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I will raise that at that meeting there as well. And then I do believe the Conservation Commission does have a role in that. And Judith Green is the town employee who works most closely with them, and she's part of our land use committee as well. But in terms of like those approval parts, that's Conservation Commission is engaged in that. But yeah, absolutely, yes, you are
Yeah, and I
correct.
guess so where we might get involved as community education is just spreading the word when there are events or votes or sessions about it. Do we know when those are, or which, like, who votes and in what forums? I feel like in the larger,
All the voting is over and passed. The real issue is that most people weren't aware that the option of devastating the woods and putting in a half-mile driveway is the plan, including front page of the Revere paper stating that it's going to be on the football field. You know, so there's lots of misleading information. Public really doesn't understand what's happening there. You're going to wind up with a 650-foot long cliff, and they're going to devastate 31 feet blasting for 6 months. It's almost inconceivable that they were planning to put the school in with no sidewalks. And they said that was well thought out.
So Paul, I'm gonna make a suggestion if I can. I don't know if you're available, and I know that it's still a little ways away, but if you are available to come to the ESC, the full committee meeting on November 10th, I think that would be a good place to raise exactly what you've raised here, but with some folks on the larger committee who are much more engaged and knowledgeable about it. And also our town council representative up to the ESC will be there as well. So I share your concerns. I think that would be a place where you'll engage with folks who are maybe more on top of some of the specifics and also some of the options for what could be done next.
Greatly appreciate it. So this would be on the 10th of November. Where?
Online,
also on-
7 p.m. Yeah.
Super. I'll plan on it.
yeah, if you keep an eye on the like the town meeting listings, it'll definitely be posted there. I think it might have just gotten like the Zoom sent out, so I'm sure there'll be agenda and posting going out about that in the next few days.
Yeah.
So, man, would that be at the same time at 7:30?
That one's at 7 p.m., not 7:30.
So much. All right, for sure. I'll be there.
Great.
Yeah. Paul, if you want to write to me at sean.cash@tufts.edu, I'll make sure to send you a copy of the public agenda for that. You can find it on the town's website for the Environmental Sustainability Committee as well, but it might be easier to just email me and I can send it to you. Again, not trying to
I'm all
put
set.
you
No
off.
problem, man. I actually get notices for almost everything
Okay.
I signed up for the town, so I won't miss it. I've already marked my calendar.
All
7
right.
p.m. on the 10th. Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Sure thing.
Thank you, Paul.
All right.
All right, so that was public participation. So next would be approval of the minutes. Is there a motion?
I move to approve the minutes.
Well, I guess we will vote on that. Sean?
Am I allowed to vote against my own movement? No, I
Okay, and I'm a yes also, minutes approved. Thank you. All right, so let's get into the meat of the education and engagement content. Sorry, there's a 4-year-old fighting bedtime right above me, and it is very loud. I hope you can't hear it.
I cannot, but
That's good. So we've been here. I guess I'll stop sharing because this is a very interesting looking agenda. We've been continuing postings, and I've been sharing about half of them out to the community page, particularly the ones that seem most shout worthy. Don't want to wear out my welcome on the community page too quickly. I haven't looked in the last couple weeks at like the overall engagement stats, but we have been getting some reshares, and at least some. We have 3 new followers in the last month. Here, I'll just pop this up when we can look together. Let's see.
okay. Yeah, I just pulled it up here as well.
Yeah, so our engagement in the last month has been 158 engages, 1900 reach. So that's pretty good. Where's the page where I can see how it's going? It's in here. Yeah, that one. Oh, for Pete's sake. So let's see, a couple of comments, reach. 60 people, 261, that was a bigger one. Still not a lot.
No,
Oh, maybe that's the reach only from our page and not from the shares.
yeah, I think it might be,
I would
but
guess.
I'm I just realized I had not favorited the ESC post, so I'm doing that so that I'll just see the post more quickly, and that way maybe you and I can. One possibility, if I mean, there might be some that we don't want to share to the community pages, but if you just want to split that up more, maybe we should make a note of that in the schedule. And then I could put in my calendar to be the sharer.
To be the share. Sure.
Right. And the only way to share has been from your personal page, not through the committee.
Oh no, I have shared them right from the page, which is actually very easy. As soon as you post it, there's share option. So I have been sharing it there.
Well, then I think we could probably do more than half. But I'm also happy to grab a few. But when I do it, it's from my personal page. So
yeah.
And
I wasn't sure, like there are, as we talked about last time, there are the 2 different Facebook community, Wakefield community groups. I've been posting to, I am not sure that I've consistently chosen one or the other. I've been only posting it to one of them. I suppose I could post it to both of them. I don't know
I think we should do, but I think a lot of people belong to both, and I think a lot of people share my confusion and yours as to which one they're looking at any given moment until you see them like, and I don't even remember the names. I just think of them as, by the names of the most prominent moderators. It's kind of the way I think of it, right? So there's a Wakefield community group is 15,000, and then there's the Wakefield, Massachusetts community page is 10.7 thousand. Right, so that's Pooja's group and Brian's group. So those are the 2 that I think are the largest and that we should consistently. And there are some. I know there's a lot of overlap. There are also a lot of people who are adamantly members of only one group and not the other. And so I think there is value to posting to both.
Okay. Can do. That's easy
Yeah,
enough.
so-
It's a
Yeah.
single additional click. So
But I never remember which I'm on either. And
Yeah.
then the other one, which I know isn't relevant to a lot of the things we do, but whenever there's anything about that involves something that's being distributed or given away, I think we could also, that's an opportunity to engage the Buy Nothing and the recycles groups. So I guess I would usually be around events, but if there's other things like services where they're giving away things.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try to think of like if there are those. Most of them so far that have been like related to things have been about how you might get rid of a thing.
Yeah.
Although I did recently promote the recycle and buy nothing groups from our
Mhm.
page.
And I think that's good. And then if we've done that, I think we could also go to the moderators of that group and say, hey, if it's something where it's about disposing of things that people are often trying to give away on those groups, we could ask permission, say, would you mind if we shared this information? You know,
Yeah.
hey, did you strike out on finding a taker for this? Here's another option.
Especially the like textiles and mattress ban.
Yeah.
The textiles, I think, is an especially frequent one where someone might post a thing and get no takers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you've just been programming those up in advance then, like once a month, or are you usually just queuing it up a few days in advance?
So I'm mostly doing ahead of time, like writing out a set of them. Let me pull up the list. And then sharing, it's sort of reassessing as folks send me things, because people will occasionally send me, you know, oh, don't forget this master planning session is happening. Can you share that? Or the litter cleanup that was 2 weeks ago. So as folks send me things, I'll rearrange the queue of upcoming. So quite a number of them this month have been timely related things, the call for new members, the Mercury collection, the master planning. And then I've had the sort of could post it anytime type of topics like the bylaws or things like that. Oh, and I missed this one. Well, I'll post this one today and then I'll make this one for tomorrow. So I you know, only have them teed up through the end of October, but we've got a whole bunch of other ideas. So if we want to spend a couple minutes thinking of things to post that feel timely, happy to get the input. And I didn't figure out who to talk to about whether we can just make this a darn shared document.
Jen didn't have an answer to that, or?
Oh, I didn't actually ask Jen.
I'm just wondering if it'd be relevant to her, any of her workflows with other things, if she's getting information from other parties, either, you know, from some of the other committees or things.
I could check with Jen. I think someone suggested that I just ask the counselor. The
Yeah,
town,
that came up. Yeah.
right?
I'm happy to ask Jen. I'm hoping that I'll be chatting with her in the next day or so. Your email reminder reminded me of one of my undone to-dos, and I tried to get it done today, but
if you talk with her, there were a handful of additional, well, I guess I don't know that she didn't do them and just not tell me. A handful of additional things that I asked her to add to the our page, our resources page, after the original push of stuff. So if you talk with her, if you wouldn't mind asking her if she got my note about that. Looks like she hasn't made those updates yet. Anyway, so well, let's brainstorm some things to post about for just a moment. I was going to do a textile ban. So coming up at some point. Oh, well, no, I guess I haven't sent this out because they haven't told us yet when to do it. The master planning survey. So I'll push that out a little bit. for folks who weren't able to go to the master planning session.
Mhm.
But I was going to do a reminder on the mattress and textiles ban. I was going to promote snack wrapper recycling, especially as we are about to hit fun size candy bar season. And I
Yeah,
might post this one again like a week later.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking posting that a day or two after Halloween would be perfect.
Yep. I was going to post it ahead of time also, though, so that people
Mhm.
will think to,
To hold on to them, yeah.
set them aside. And then there's some pumpkin drop off. But I don't know the date. We'll find that out. So those were the timely things. Oh, and then if at the November 10th meeting, there was going to be a recycling education presentation, someone from the recycling vendor was going to come by. I think that's on the November 10th agenda. If it is, I'll promote that. But I am not sure because I have not seen the agenda yet.
Mhm.
I ruined everything. Other ideas of things?
We're meeting for the land use subcommittee on the 2nd, and one thing I want to run by folks there will be the some language, just trying to recruit. We're trying to set up a network of like trail volunteers.
Yeah.
And so and I just wanted to have something that's like, hey, do you use any of our trails, public trails here in Wakefield? If so, would you be willing to volunteer to help with mapping, cleanup, and reporting maintenance needs? If so, please contact, and then me, or unless Dan wants to do it all, and because so I was going to just share that language with the folks on the 2nd. So yeah, early in November, if we could put 1 or 2 of those in the rotation after I've just gotten everyone else's thumbs up on some wording and what that looks like. I'm also I need to I was going to call over, Judith gave me some contact names for people in other towns where they have operating networks of folks who kind of do this, and it seems like in some of the towns it's really well developed, where they have people who go in, clean up the trails, do light maintenance, and call the town when something more important is needed. So that was one of the things we wanted to do there. And I think once we agree on some first steps, I'll probably have a few things that go in the rotation here. And I think that's also nice because not that I disagree with any of this, but I think in terms of our total slate of things coming out of the ESC, it's nice if we intersperse some of the preachier things about here's what else you could be doing, with some things that are just, more like, here's a way to get involved, or here's
well, and especially like
here's something
there are more
fun.
lightweight ways to get involved.
Yeah.
Right. So that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm hoping for is 10 people who do these things twice a week anyway, and are just happy to say, oh yeah, if I had an email address or phone number, I would make a point of it, So I'll pass that along, but let's aim for one. If you want to, I put it on a reminder for the day before the next meeting, and I will also put a reminder the day after to send you something. So if you want to put that early in that following week, you can put a date on it, like the 7th or something. Yeah.
Perfect.
Did you get a good sense? Have you developed a good sense of like what are the right days or wrong days? Is it good to put out things on weekends? Is it bad?
I have not looked carefully at stats on that, nor have I looked at like time of day, because I end up posting, like some days I post it at 8 in the morning because I do it before I get started with my work, and some days I posted at 8 p.m. and I don't know if we have enough of a volume to have seen much in the way of stats. Like they consistently get liked by you and Melissa and Robin,
Mhm.
but it's unclear.
We're reaching the choir.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I guess the other thing that would be probably worth it being in the rotation at least once a month is a reminder to go and like the page.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah.
And that could just be something that we do every few weeks.
You know what we need? I mean, and maybe it's, you know, your smiling face in front of that gazebo thing. Like, I don't have a good, like, standard image to post when there isn't a relevant image, right? If I'm
Hmm.
posting about polystyrene, I go and find a picture of polystyrene. And some of the time what we post is a link to something else and it has an image, but I wish I pine for an ESC logo that is meaningful in some way.
I thought, didn't we do something around a logo with the letterhead stuff last
Yeah.
year? Was that before
Before
you
my
joined?
time.
There might be
Did
something.
that,
Let's
right?
ask at the meeting, at the big meeting, and then what if we just, there's so many great amateur photographers around town. What if we just, that'd be another, actually, that would be a fun one. And that would engage some folks who might not otherwise
Sure,
send it.
yeah.
Do you have a photo of any part of Wakefield's natural beauty that you'd be willing to allow us to use? And then if we had 5 or 6 photos, and then we could put a logo on it and had permission from the folks, but even just requesting it. Like I was thinking, oh, I'll go around and take some photos, but wouldn't it be nicer to get
There might be
folks,
someone who's taken some nicer ones. Yeah. Yeah.
So there are a few people who regularly post them on the
Mhm.
community groups, either just for fun or sometimes to promote their business. There's one reporter for the item who takes photos and puts them in the item, so maybe somebody be willing to donate one.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I like that.
So that could
And
be
I
a
think
default.
we'd
I
want
don't
to,
think you want my face in front. I think also I could duck and we could use this without my face. But
the other thing I was thinking is like we could do a call for topics. Are there particular topics you want to hear more about, or
or things you want us to amplify.
yeah,
And I mean, we don't have to say yes to all comers.
sure.
I'm also, do we have more leeway when it comes to us sharing somebody else's posts than generating posts, or is it still kind of the same? Like, I mean, I'm assuming we can't just repost or share somebody's advertisement for their business if it wouldn't normally be something we could advertise, or somebody's advocacy position. But I wonder if we have a little more leeway just around things that might be a broad interest if they don't go into our no-go zones.
Yeah, I would think if it's just a broad interest, here's some great native plants to plant. I think that'd be fine for us to share.
You know what? I'm going to make a note to I'm thinking another nice way to do this, and I'll make a note to gather some of this information, is to repost things from neighboring towns that might be relevant. And
That's a great idea. Yep.
I'm going to get in some of those groups. And I know some people I can ask to keep an eye out for it too, but I've just never been one to go to the neighboring town groups. But
Yeah, that's a great idea. I like that. We also have a bunch of stuff we can post from our new resources page that we put up there. There's some good, native plants, pollinator garden, various other resources. So there's certainly some stuff in there to go through.
Do you, so this, you're showing this to me in Word, but do you have it maintained in Google Drive or just in Word?
So far just in Word, because I was told I can't share things, so.
But can you put it on Google Drive for me to view it, even if if my editing becomes deliberation? I get that, but I'm wondering if just posting it so I can view it.
I can't see why not. Yeah, that's a great idea.
So even just the updated resources page is probably worth a shout out, unless you've already done that. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Oh no, I haven't done that either. Yeah, because it's got a lot of great stuff in there now.
Mhm.
Jen did a really nice job of spinning that all up real fast. And then there were a few late breaking things from Judith.
Mhm.
And then a very long list of additional things, but those, they seemed like maybe they were more ComCon stuff. So we weren't sure if we wanted to recreate, like they might want to just have their own page of things. Because it was like 30 things, so.
We can ask them, and I mean, if they're not likely to do it, given
Mhm.
that they've got a, you know, they serve a regulatory function, right? And so
Mhm.
if they're not, if they just don't have bandwidth to do it, then
Sure.
maybe they won't mind.
Yeah, I'll reach back out. What I was also gonna ask Jen about is whether we have any page stats on that page. Like, I don't know if
Mm.
within the town set of pages, if she can see stuff like visits and click-throughs.
Mhm.
So if you are talking to her in the next couple of days and wouldn't mind asking her that, that'd be great.
Yeah, so
Otherwise
now I need a list.
I'll send her a note in a couple of days if you don't end up connecting with her. I'm really curious how much the new Wakefield resident 101 last week, like, did that drive any traffic?
Mhm. All right, I've made a list.
Sounds good. Yeah, and I'll put this on Google Docs so you can at least see it, and then you can let me
Yeah,
know.
I think if we're not going back and forth with it.
Yeah.
But
Right.
also, I like.
Again, it's not deliberation if it's not a vote.
Yeah, if it's not going to be voted, and if it's more about a rotation of information to go out, I'm hoping that this,
Yeah.
we should be able to. We should be able to do that in a way that where we can just add to that.
Yeah. Maybe
And one of these days you're going to want a vacation, and you're going to have to let somebody else post the things for a few days. So,
Yeah.
All right.
And then did you make any other progress on the email list? You said you were going to connect with Jen.
No, and what I will do, I think even if I don't reach, like, I can start to set it up, and that way I can say, here's what it looks like. But who's got the who has the
sign-in
signups?
sheet? I think Melissa has that, and then I've got the survey. Oh, which only got one response. So
Okay.
I think I guess I was wrong, and people were more interested in filling it out on paper. Good to know. So yeah, I would say reach out to Melissa for those.
I'm just writing to her now before I forget. So yeah, so, and I apologize, the last month has had some unexpected family commitments that ate up a lot of
No
a lot
worries.
of time.
I mean, I think
So
we saw that even after between several in-person sessions, we didn't have. I don't think we got dozens of people signing up for this email list. So I don't
no,
think
I don't think it's
we're
super.
holding folks up too much.
Yeah, but if we have something, and if it's okay to use,
Mhm.
then that could be something we promote on the social media sites as well,
Yes,
saying, would you
that's
rather
true.
get these things over email?
Yeah.
Because the nice thing about the e-list software is that people can sign them. We can set it so that people can add themselves,
Yes.
or we can add them. And then,
Yeah.
like I said, it also has the option of a public archive. So it has private archives as well as public archives. So
Okay. Got it.
we could do a public archive if we're required to do so. If all we're required to do is have an archive that could be FOIA'd or whatever else,
Mhm.
that'd be my preference, to keep the archive, but have it be private, just so that people aren't worried that, like, you know, their stuff's living on a website forever. But either way, it's,
Yeah. Perfect.
you know,
Great.
and apologies for not being further along on that.
No worries. Anything else on the like existing communication channels?
No, I didn't know, were we feeling our stride enough that we wanted to go multi-platform? Instagram is not my comfort zone, but Twitter is. So just because my
I
professional groups have nice norms around Twitter, so I go on Twitter and it all looks very friendly, and so academic Twitter and food Twitter are safe places to navigate usually.
if you connect with Jen, she would be someone to ask about this as well, because I think when she and I spoke about communication channels, she said that Instagram was fine because we have the same archiving capabilities that we have on our Facebook. And she said TikTok is not, and I don't think I asked about Twitter. So I don't know if that's already part of that archival system.
Okay.
So that'd be worth
I mean,
checking.
Twitter's a separate company, so it might be that Instagram and Facebook literally have an integrated thing, but that doesn't necessarily, but that doesn't tell us either way if Twitter's okay or not.
Right, Twitter might be also integrated in the same way.
Yeah.
So
Actually, I've never even checked to see if we have a town Twitter feed. So
right, and I don't know what the process is for setting up a committee Twitter feed, but I would guess that would be a Jen thing.
So the Wakefield PD has a Twitter feed, but I'm not seeing. And apparently they don't post much, because I guess I subscribed to it at some point in the past. I don't remember ever seeing much. So Wakefield. Mayor of Wakefield is Wakefield in the UK. Wakefield Main Streets has a page. So I'm not sure if we have a town.
Interesting.
All right, well, I can poke around more later, but otherwise we can ask. I mean, I don't think Snapchat would be hard to do if Snapchat's definitely okay. You know, and that's, oh, sorry, it was Snapchat you said was okay, or Instagram?
Instagram.
You said Instagram. Yeah, no, Instagram wouldn't be too hard to know. Snapchat doesn't make sense. Instagram wouldn't be hard to do, if that's what we wanted, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I also kind of want to get our student member.
Yeah, yes, that would be
might help.
Yeah, and that would be on brand.
Yeah. Well, let's move on from that topic, and I'm trying to be a good steward and follow the agenda. So we'll do when's our next meeting, and then we'll do the matter not anticipated.
Okay.
Per the usual sequence, our next meeting would be November 14th, Monday the 14th. How does that look for you?
The 14th, not the 21st? I mean, I'm not here the 21st anyway, but
neither am I. Maybe it would have been the 21st, and I already in my head made it the 14th.
All right, so the 14th or the 28th. The 14th is problematic for me because I've committed to a guest lecture that's gonna overlap with this. So how about the 28th?
28th. Looks good to me. It's my mother-in-law's
Alright.
birthday, but we're celebrating it on the weekend, so
Okay, all right, well,
would be fun.
otherwise she can pull
She
up
can
a
join.
chair and join us.
I don't think she'll. Yeah,
All right.
sounds good. 28th works. Okay, so then matter not anticipated, I got after the Wakefield New Residents 101 session, I got a text from Melissa that someone from the Boys and Girls Club stopped by our table and is interested in us doing some education at the Boys and Girls Club. Which I thought was pretty cool. The director of Wakefield Teen Center, someone named Evan. So I've reached out to Evan and I haven't heard anything back, but I only reached out approximately 24 hours ago. So I don't know what sort of topics they're interested in or what they may already do. But it sounded like a good opportunity and for something. And if they are totally open to topics, we could suggest some. If they have particular things, we could try to source something.
Yeah. That sounds good. I mean, depending on the timeline, if it's moving fast, we could communicate over email. If it's a slower burn, we could invite Evan to join us at this meeting. And we could see, you know, what types of things they're looking for, and also depending on what types of programs they do, if there are opportunities to engage the teens that way. So, yeah,
I'm pretty sure they already compost. So,
yeah. So, and I'm not. Yeah, I don't have a great sense of what types of activities they're already sponsoring and the population they're serving. But there might also be opportunities to engage them in other things as well. So it could be both providing education in or also engaging their members for some person power. And again, depending on their specific needs, I don't know if it's like, I mean, I don't know how well suited we are towards delivering you know, environmental education materials or anything like that. It might be more about connecting them with people who are well suited for hitting things that might both suit their interests, but also be relevant to current town issues or needs. But no, it sounds great. I mean, it's great if somebody inquired about that.
Yeah. So.
And anything around food, I have got a lot of graduate students who would be happy to do something like that and put together things around food and sustainability. So
I would imagine that would be a topic of quite a lot of interest of the teens in the teen center. That'd be very cool.
So, all right.
Yeah, I had one other thought and then it just fell right back out of my head. Oh, I wanted to see if we had more, anyone else sign up for composting from the Wakefield 101, since we put so much effort into communicating.
Yeah, don't know. So were you at, who was at Wakefield 101? Melissa and Dan?
I think so, yeah. Oh, hey, 415 participants. I think we were at 408 at Town Day, so.
Okay, so maybe some of that is attributable to one or the other.
A few more, yeah. Cool.
Great. Where did you see the 415? Is there's a live count on the?
Yeah,
Is that on the
like
town
when you
page?
sign into your account,
Oh.
You can see your own stats. Wow, that's a lot of pounds of waste I've diverted. That's cool. I don't know if they're actually, like, I imagine it's just it's a heuristic based on how long you've been a member. But then if you scroll down, Town of Wakefield stats, so 204 tons.
I don't know. I think they're weighing your garbage every day.
My own as they dump the bin?
They're weighing your compost every pickup, yeah.
having watched them early in the morning grabbing the bin, I don't actually think so, but I do believe that the town stats are, like, they are probably weighing it at the town level. I do believe that stat, but anyway.
Oh, yeah, it'd be nice if that were attributable to anything we've been doing as a committee, but I don't know. They might also get a fall bump when people look at their leaves and say, "What do I do with these?"
Maybe,
So, I don't know.
yeah, that could be.
Yeah, we are not Black Earth subscribers because we have our own bins, but then but then we stopped putting the kitchen waste in the winter. So that we're not year round because of that. But
Well, you're welcome to drop it by my house on Wednesday nights. The bin's always out by about
oh, okay.
6 p.m. and there's usually space.
I might do that because we've got the nice little countertop thing. We should do.
Yeah.
So.
You might have a closer neighbor. I don't know where you live. You know, I think part of what we should also be promoting, maybe I'll take this to the waste subcommittee, is, you know, people sharing it, right? I would guess that most of the Black Earth bins around town are not full at pickup time. So they're full, or they're full a couple times a year, right? When you have a party and Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yeah, although then but we get it, don't we hit discount levels based on subscribers, so we're undermining that part. So but some people are probably
the goal to have more people diverting their waste.
Yes. Yeah, then we get the town benefit, the benefit to the town savings, even if not the
benefit. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing from if in fact the recycling and trash folks are coming to the big committee meeting. I think it'd be really interesting to ask a bunch of questions of.
Oh, they're invited for this next one?
I think so. I think they're on the agenda for this next week.
Yeah, I was really eager for that because I want to ask some questions about the aspirational versus actual practice of what's getting recycled these days, given, I mean, I don't know if everything the last 3-4 years, it just sounds like a lot of this is just towns don't have the heart to admit that these things are not, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you listen to Planet Money or The Indicator, which is their shoot off podcast, but there were several episodes about changes to Chinese recycling imports and other, like they've done a whole series of things on changes in the global as well as local recycling markets, and just none of it's good news in terms of what you hope is happening after you put it in the bin.
Yeah.
I have lowered my amount of aspirational recycling lately, which I feel a little bit worse about myself, but I know it's the right thing.
Well, that is disappointing.
Yeah. All right. Are we at the end of our agenda then, or?
I think we are. Yeah.
All right.
Unless you have any other matters not anticipated.
I do not. I apologize. Like I said, I've had some distractions.
No worries.
Eating into the time that would have otherwise gone to volunteering. So and there's going to be some more meetings on my plate when this open space committee process gets rolling. So
yeah, that's great.
But I'm looking forward to it. I hope you're doing well, and
yeah.
And we'll run into each other in person one of these days. So we managed to avoid it a few weeks ago. So
yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't come by that particular was a farmer's market. When
and that was COVID or just some other.
I didn't have COVID, or to mine, I tested negative like every day for 2 weeks, but my partner had COVID. We locked him in this room actually. I lost my office for the week. We locked him away and managed my kid and I to not get it. So
effective. Did you leave food for him at the door?
Yeah,
I would like
leave a bowl of Jello outside the door and knock and walk away.
Yeah, we had
like, you can come out and brush your teeth now. We're hiding in a different room. Like, oh
yeah, we had an ensuite bathroom that became the food counter for a few days.
Yeah.
When my better half had it before I caught it, and so but I've got students now who are catching it, and we just had to cancel some work some work commitments because of some staff I had on a project that all of a sudden were unavailable because they just tested positive for COVID. So
Yeah, we had to
it's
work
still
on
going
site
around.
last week, and there were a few people even who like traveled to Boston to be there for the on-site, and then like that morning we're like, oh, I don't feel great. I'm gonna sit back in the hotel room, and oh nope, I've got it now. So it's,
Oh,
yeah.
well, at least they didn't come into that. We hosted a
Yes.
workshop back in June where somebody tested positive one evening after having spent the whole day with the rest of us in an auditorium. I didn't hear of anyone getting it from her, but yeah, no, we've had all that. And then and how old's your kiddo?
He's 4.5, or not
Oh,
quite. Yeah.
then there's all the rhinovirus stuff that's
Oh, yeah, there's a
taken up
lot
again now. So
going around. Wash your hands.
yeah. Well, all right. Well, great to chat with you as always.
You too.
And I'll see you on the 10th, if not sooner.
Sounds good. Motion to adjourn.
All right. Aye.
All right. Have a
Aye
good
and
one.
bye. Take care.
Bye. See ya.